Happy holidays, everyone. Quantrix02 here. It is the end of the year, which means it is top 10 time. Trying to break down my 10 favorite figures of the year. There's been a lot of great figures this year. A ton of good figures this year. A couple of bad ones, but for the most part, it's been a pretty solid year for action figures. It seems like it gets harder and harder to pick, which one should be in the top 10. And I struggled this year. I thought last year was tough. This year was freaking tough. But I do have my top 10 figures that I will be going over. Give you a little bit of why they are my favorites. And it's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time. 2020 is upon us, meaning there's going to be even more figures to look forward to. A lot of great figures coming up in the next year. But let's just talk about this year right now. Now, not saying that these are the greatest figures, the 10 greatest figures that were released this year. These are my favorite figures, me, Quantrix02's favorite figures that were released this year. And before we get started, I do have two honorable mentions. I didn't want to have a whole bunch of honorable mentions because that's kind of unfair. But I do have two, and I grab them for you real quick. Where are you? These two right here. One being Blade. You see that Blade? One Mexico 112 Blade. He was a pretty cool figure. Really enjoyed him. He's really dope. Came with a lot of cool accessories and all that. And Great Saiyaman, who was also really cool. Not the biggest Great Saiyaman fan, but he came with 3 different head sculpts. He came with enough options that I had to buy 2 of these. So I have one with the Great Saiyaman helmet, and then one with the Super Saiyan head sculpt, and I still need another one for the other head sculpt with the turban. So a lot of playability here. It's fun to pose around, do all those Great Saiyaman poses and Goofy and stuff. So another Gohan, which is really cool. So I enjoyed both these guys. There's nothing that could really. No reason why these guys really aren't on the list other than the fact that they just got edged out by 10 other figures that I just liked a little bit more, but they were great. So yeah, there's my honorable mentions. Now that's done. Let's go through the top 10 figures of 2019 by me, Quantrix02. Kicking off the countdown with spot number 10, we've got the Black Series Heavy Infantry Mandalorian from the Mandalorian series from Disney Plus. This guy is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do not have a lot of Black Series figures. Not only Black Series, I don't have a lot of Star Wars figures, and I love Star Wars, but I just was never really into collecting the figures. But this was one guy that I had to have. When he came on screen, and that was the second or third episode of The Mandalorian. I like, this guy is freaking cool. That's a big looking Mandalorian with this huge freaking gun, and he's got a rocket launcher, and he's blue, which is my favorite color. He does everything was just cool about him. And then it felt like just hours later, he was put on Best Buy as an exclusive in the Black Series, so I had to get him. And this guy is pretty cool, man. He has for a big guy, he has a lot of articulation. The Black Series line is known for having really good articulation. For just a $20 figure, their articulation for the figures are actually really good, and this guy is no exception. Just about anything you want to do with him, you can. And he holds that heavy, weapon with ease. The arms aren't loose or anything or nothing like that. So he holds it well, and it comes with he doesn't come with any little boosters to go into his little I can't even think of the name of it right now. His little rocket pack. But you can take if you have an Iron Man figure, Marvel Legends Iron Man, you can take the blast effects from those and just plug those into the back of it, and you're good to go. It would have been cool if he would have came with his own, but it is what it is. The paint's good. I love the blue. I love that he kind of has that worn out look. They put a little silver paint, all little nicks and stuff all over his mask and all that. And I really like him, man. Yeah, this is kind of one of my late figures. I got him, I think this month actually, at the beginning of the month. and he made the list. He beat out a lot of figures, man, because I have just been really enjoying posing him around, and it makes me actually want to go out and get a couple more Black Series. I actually want to collect the guys from the Mandalorian. Like I still haven't found the Mandalorian yet, but I want to get him. Baby Yoda when he comes out, the droids, anything from that show, man, because that show is awesome, and I really like the figures. Coming in at number 9, it is Marvel Legends Nightcrawler. Out of all the Marvel Legends that came out this year, this is my favorite one. I love Nightcrawler as a character. He has a really cool powers, and I've been waiting for him to finally come to the Marvel Legends line with a new figure, and it did not disappoint, because this guy is awesome. Any pose you really want to get this guy in, you can. He has great articulation. He has that, you know, that very like skinny build, but the articulation for this guy is awesome. Butterfly joints and swivels and all that stuff. We can talk about all that. You guys know all that stuff. But he just stands out to me, because not only does he have great articulation, but he comes with 3 different head sculpts. This one, which is my favorite, the one that's on him right now, his action one, when he's got like the dark paint at the top, reminds me of the old, you know, Jim Lee pictures and all that of Nightcrawler with the darkness over his eyes. That's pretty cool. And he has a smiling one, and then he has like a stern face head sculpt as well. And he also comes with the sword. That's like, I'm pretty sure, I'm feeling like you're getting the bang for your buck for this figure. I mean, everything that Nightcrawler really need to come with, he did. He has another hand in case you don't want to have that holding hand. You can put his alternate right hand on as well. So you have options, man. You have a lot of options with this guy, and he's only $20, man. Like, you can't beat him. And he definitely is my favorite Marvel Legends. And there was pretty good Marvel Legends this year, but this is my favorite one, and I've been waiting for him, and he did not disappoint. Coming in at number 8, it is Mezco's 1/12 scale Sovereign Knight Batman. And I think both are good. He had a couple of different versions of this figure, but my favorite is this one, the PX exclusive, with the blue outfit and the Keaton Batman logo. That's my favorite one, and it's great. It's a great figure, man. I mean, aesthetics wise, this one definitely beats out the the first Batman that Mezco came out with. I can't even think of the name for it right now, but beats out that one, and the one that's about to come out, the older Bruce, is better than that one. This is the best out of the 3 figures in my opinion, and because it just looks badass. He's nice and bulky. He's built. Comes with a nice cloth cape. Yes, it definitely could have used some wire in there. You know, that would have put this guy over the edge, and he probably would have went up a couple spots if he had some bendy wire in his cape, but it's not. But I do like how the cape looks. It looks pretty good. It could have been a little bit longer as well, but that's really the only complaints I have. Oh, and of course, I mean, it's just how Mezco is. I feel like Mezco could definitely use an update to their articulation, because there's not a lot you could do with this guy. Yes, he's posable, and you can do some cool stuff with him, but he's not that posable. It's a what situation right here. It's like, do you want to have the articulation, but do you want to risk ruining the cloth aspects of the figure because you're bending it too much, or just keep it how it is, and you know, it's just something you have to deal with. So it is what it is, but it loses points because, you know, obviously articulation isn't the greatest, but it's not terrible either. I've seen worse with the Mezco's figures, and this one's is leaning more on the better side when it comes to that, in my opinion. But just the way this guy looks, he just stands out on a shelf to me. That big bright logo, which is just perfection. I love it so much. This guy comes with tons of accessories. You got your batarangs, you got your grappling hooks, you got different head sculpts. You have the Bruce head sculpt, you have a battle damaged one, You got the kryptonite duster, knuckle dusters, some kind of bet droid thing. A lot of cool stuff, man. Mezco always putting in cool like weapons and all that. And that's one reason why I want to continue to support them, even though these guys are $80. But the the fact that it's cloth clothes over these guys, you get a lot of cool accessories, makes it worth it. And I am definitely a fan of this figure. Like I said, it would have had bending wire, a little bit better articulation, he would have went up a couple of spots. But right now he stands at number 8, which ain't bad. Coming in at number 7, it is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection by Hasbro. Any figure really could have been, could have took a spot from that collection, from those line of figures. But I'm gonna go with my boy Tommy and the White Ranger suit, because that's my favorite suit. Fan of the Green Ranger, fan of the White Ranger suit. Just Tommy in general, man. Tommy's literally legit the coolest Ranger out of them all. And like these figures, man, I mean, talk about a guy who I haven't really watched Power Rangers in over like a decade, so I don't know like any of the new Rangers, but I do know Mighty Morphin for one. And a lot of people told me a lot of great things about these figures, so I decided to just pick up a couple, and I was not disappointed, because man, for a $20 figure, there is a lot going on with these guys, man. They really feel like the amount of articulation, the amount of just love put into these things. I'm talking articulation, I'm talking sculpt, I'm talking paint and stuff, like everything. You know, you get different accessories for these guys, different head sculpts, and it comes in this like import like box. It feels like you're getting an import figure for $20. It's crazy. Like, this is the one figure that I you know, the one line of figures that when I get them, I feel like I can't put them down. Like, I want to keep posing them. Like, the articulation for these guys are so good. It's so much better than what company had these guys before that were making figures. Was it Mattel or somebody? I can't remember. But they were nothing like these. These are some high quality domestic figures, and I'm telling you, man, they killed it, man. They killed this line, and I can't wait to see who else they bring out. I mean, I haven't been able to find Lord Zed. I would love to get him. And I love to just collect the original Mighty Morphin. I do have the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger. I'm gonna wait on, you know, Billy and Trini and all them. But yeah, this guy is really, really cool, man. They definitely put a lot of love in this line. I wish more companies would do the same. I mean, you really are getting the bang for your buck when it comes to this guy, and I highly recommend them. Even if you're not really a fan of Power Rangers or anything like that, if you just like really cool action figures that you can just pose around and, you know, put in basically any kind of pose, or, you know, or whatever you want to do with them, it's definitely possible with these guys. They're highly recommended, and that's why he gets number 7 spot on my list. The only reason he isn't any higher is really not the figures fault at all, just that there were some figures that are just a little bit cooler that I liked from this year that I was looking forward to. This guy just came out of nowhere for me. I tried him out and I loved him. Yeah, pretty cool figure. Definitely recommend them. If you don't have these guys, go out and get them for sure. Coming in at number 6, it is SH Figure Arts Demon King Piccolo. This guy is massive. I'm not sure, is he? I think he is, or he may be a little bit shorter than the original Broly. I'm not sure, but he is tall, man. He is a unit. This guy is a big figure, and this is exactly how big the regular Piccolo should have been when this line started all those years ago. But they finally corrected that. But the only thing is that this isn't the Piccolo we all know and love. This isn't, you know, Piccolo Jr. This is Piccolo Senior. This is Demon King Piccolo. He is cool. He has you know, great articulation. I mean, it's the 2.0 articulation. You know what to expect for that. But for what it is very good. I like the vibrant colors for this guy. Love those bright pinks, the greens. and just the sculpt. I mean, it looks just like he came right out of the manga panels or the anime. It looks great. He comes with some cool accessories. He comes with like 3 or 4 head sculpts, different kind of hands, a Dragon Ball, and the rice cooker, which is cool. So you can do the Mafuba if you need to put them in the rice cooker. You know, the Mafuba, the evil containment wave, as it's called in the dub. You can have Master Roshi do that to him or Tien, or either one of them. Try to put him in the rice cooker, so it's cool that it comes with that accessory. And he is just cool, man. He's a really cool figure. A big guy, a lot of plastic for such a tall guy, man. I'm glad that they actually corrected the height with Piccolo. Now they can use this as the base body to make the Piccolo we all know and love. I'm talking about Gohan's father, Piccolo. And hopefully we see that down the line. The only reason this guy isn't cracking the top 5 is because he isn't Piccolo Jr. That's the only reason why. If this was Piccolo Jr., this guy would have probably been top 3. I like King Piccolo. He's probably the best villain in the original Dragon Ball, other than Tao Pai Pai, which can't wait for that figure next year. One of the best in the series, but he ain't Piccolo, man. This ain't the Piccolo I know and love, and that's the only reason he doesn't get the top spot. But overall, a really good figure. Could have used some paint. That's what it's missing. So some paint, some nice shading would have been nice. There's no shading at all in this figure, but it's whatever. Overall, really good. Definitely recommend you go out and get this guy if you are a fan of the original OG Dragon Ball. You gotta have King Piccolo in your collection. We're at the halfway point, boys and girls, with number 5. It is the Mafex Iron Spider from Infinity War. And coming off the heels of the Infinity War SH Figure Arts Iron Spider, those figures are like night and day. I thought the Figure Arts version wasn't that bad until I saw this guy show up, and it was like, whoa, what the heck was Figure Arts thinking? I mean, you got those little McDonald fry Waldos, and then no kind of gloss or anything when it came to the suit. And this guy just went over and just blew that figure out the water. And man, what an impact it has made. Like, I'm never gonna replace this guy. I don't even care that Figure Arts is coming out with a different version that looks similar to this one. I don't even want that figure. This one is good enough for me. This figure is fan-freaking-tastic, man. Mafex, just the amount of progress that Mafex has made over just legit 1 year is crazy. They used to be known for all these QC issues, ugly paint, a lot of breakage and all that. But for the most part, they have corrected this, and this guy is just another product of the way that Mafex, the company Medicom and Mafex, is going, man, in a very positive way with the quality of their figures. I did hear though that there have been people on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers who had this figure. Said the Waldos broke on them, but Mafex were cool enough to send every single one of them replacement Waldos, and I guess the newer versions of this figure comes with those new stronger Waldos. I got this. This is the first wave, and I've had no breakage with the Waldos at all, and I've been moving them all around and playing around with them, and I've had no trouble with them at all. So it's good, man. Like, you can move these guys around how you want to. The articulation is great. The paint is great. I love the gloss. It makes it look like it's an actual Tony Stark tech suit with how it's supposed to look from the film. I do understand that the Figure Arts versions, they are basically they use I guess just references from the film instead of the actual like costumes. Maybe that's why it was so kind of crappy looking, but hey, it's not gonna save it, man. This guy's just 10 times better than than that figure, and I'm never gonna replace it. And on top of that, it comes with web, which you gotta have webs. There's tons of web. He comes with two this head sculpt and 2 other ones. One being the Tom Holland head sculpt, which is good. It's not great, but it's good. I like it. And then you have different hands and everything, and it's just a great figure, man. And it's really earned a spot at the top of this list, at the the last 5 for sure. Only a couple figures have goes over this one, and you're about to find out what those are as we continue the list. Coming in at number 4, it is a figure that I thought would be my number 1 going into this year. I was super excited for this figure, and for the most part it did not really disappoint, but there were just other figures that just outshined it in my opinion. But it is a really good release, and that's why it's at number 4. It is the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Bleeding Edge Armor Iron Man. That was a mouthful. This guy is really cool, and he did live up to a lot, but it's just it's just that the fact that there's just so much with this figure that makes it great, with the accessory wise and all of that, but it's just something about it. I don't know what it is. It's something that is holding it back, and I just can't really put my my hand on it. I don't know what it is, man. I as much as I love this guy, I think he's really cool. I don't know, like I'm pretty sure Revoltech was last year. I gotta go back and look at my video. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm pretty sure that I put Carnage, the Amazing Yamaguchi Carnage, as my number 1 figure. I may, if I had the chance to go back, I may change that to something else. And it's nothing against Revoltech. I think Revoltech is great, but just the figure is like really fidgety. Like, it takes a lot of time to just go around and mess with the guy, which is fun. The fun factor is out the roof. Fun factor is 10 to 10. You can just use your time and just come up with any kind of like pose you want. And there's so many different accessories. All that stuff is amazing with it. But when it just comes to, it's something about it though that just you gotta probably think, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know what they people who have these figures, you guys probably know what I'm talking about here. Like, you compare this to I don't know, a Figure Arts, or hell, sometimes even a Marvel Legends, man. Like, those figures, you just pose them up, put them down, you're good to go. But with Revoltech, you can the fun factor, like I keep saying, the fun factor is out the roof. But it's something about it, man. Maybe it's just the tediousness about it, about doing all that just makes it, I don't know, like trying to make weapons. I remember messing around with this guy, trying to make different kind of missiles, and the little plugs were like the little Revoltech joints. Some of them were like breaking on me while I was trying to stick them into like different pegs and all that. Some of the pegs get stuck sometimes, and some of that stuff is kind of just a little annoying, and that's what kind of held it back for me just a little bit. But other than that, I really enjoy this figure, and I'm looking forward to some more Amazing Yamaguchi figures. Like the Wonder Woman figures going to be pretty cool, and then the War Machine is going to be nice as well. These guys are really well done, and Amazing Yamaguchi is another company that has improved. They don't look like I remember just a couple years ago, putting these guys in a vanilla pose wasn't even an option, because it was going to look super ugly with all the Revoltech joints just poking out. But now you can if you want to leave them vanilla, you can, and they look perfectly fine. It's just that the tediousness of it is the only thing that kind of holds it back to me. And there were just a couple other figures in my collection that I just enjoyed, posting up and stuff, and I was very satisfied with the poses. It took me a long time to figure out a pose I wanted for this guy, because things just wouldn't look right for some reason. Anyway, I won't go too much into it. I still recommend you get this guy because he's really cool, and he definitely is one of the best Iron Mans that came out this year. And Iron Man had a lot of solid figures this year, but this one is definitely on top of the food chain. And you can't have a best figures of 2019 list without mentioning the very best 6-inch Spider-Man figure that's ever been produced. Coming in at number 3, it is Mafek's Amazing Spider-Man. This figure is freaking fantastic. I love it, and my love for this figure has not gone down since it came out. It is great. I couldn't wait when they first announced it. I was super excited, and everybody was like, this could very well be the very best 6-inch Spider-Man figure ever produced. And it is. It's better than Pizza Spidey. It's better than any other figure from the Marvel Legends. Who else makes Spider-Man figures? Any of the old figures from Toy Biz. It's better than all of those. This is the cream of the crop, guys. This is the figure you want to have. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you need to have this guy in your collection. He is great. I love the sculpt. Just the aesthetics of this guy. He really just popped right out of a comic book. He's got different head sculpts. You got the two. You got with the bigger eyes, like the McFarlane big Spider-Man eyes. You have the smaller eyes, and he also comes with a head sculpt, which I'm not crazy about. That could be a negative. I'm not really crazy about the head sculpt for the Peter Parker hair sculpt that it comes with. Not crazy about that. But other than that, it's really not a lot to really complain about this guy. I felt like the some of the joints could have been a little bit tighter. Some feel that they're kind of loose on mine at least. But besides that, man, like this guy is. If you're a Spider-Man fan, like why don't you have him in your collection right now? Why are you waiting so long to get this guy in your collection? He is phenomenal. If you have the Mayfix, any other Mayfix Spider-Mans that's come out over the recent years, like the last 2 years, you should be happy because they have just been killing it, and this is the very best one. If you miss this guy, don't worry, they're going to be coming out with a comic book version that has like comic book like paint and stuff all over it, which is cool, but I prefer this guy. Some people aren't crazy about like the metallic blue paint that's up there, but I think it looks pretty cool, and I am just a fan of this guy. No, he only gets edged out. This for a while, this was going to be my number one. First, I thought it was going to be the Bleeding Edge Yamaguchi figure. Then I thought it was going to be this one, but there's two other figures that just slightly beat this guy, and we're about to talk about them right now. Coming in at number 2, it is SH Figure Arts Super Boo. Now, I know you guys are thinking, like, how the heck did Super Boo be put over guys like the Bleeding Edge Iron Man and of course the Mayfix Spider-Man? Well, I tell you one thing. First of all, my favorite thing in the world is Dragon Ball, so that's one thing right there, one reason. Second, just they did a fantastic job on this guy. Like, I mean, I feel like they went all out for this figure. This is one of the best releases all year when it comes to me, because Figure Arts, Tamashii Nation, they gave this guy a unique sculpt, unique articulation. The same thing they did with Boo. It seemed like they given the Boos all the love, because Fat Boo was the same way. They gave him his own kind of like, you know, first of all, he's a unique sculpt. Like he's probably I'm talking about Fat Boo. Was probably the only figure that's going to use that body sculpt, and they went all out with that, and they gave him unique articulation for him just so he can function correctly, and they killed it. And they did the same thing with this guy right here, and I think they did it even better, because since you know, Super Boo is, you know, a lot smaller, but you know, as width-wise compared to you know, Fat Boo, you can do a lot more with him, and I feel like you can get this guy in just about any pose you want to. Any pose that you want. You want him bending over, you know, looking at the hourglass. You want him, you know, doing some kind of unique kicks and just anything you can think of. This guy can just about do it. He is a blast to pose around and have fun with. He comes with multiple hands, a couple of you know, face sculpts, but not really. He doesn't really come with any, like, you know, blast effects or anything like that, but he does come with an extra head for Fat Boo, which is cool. And you know, that's pretty dope, man. He's just a really overall cool figure. Like I said, he could definitely use some paint, you know, and there's a lot of Dragon Ball figures. I think he has it in the pants, but I would like to see it in the body as well. But it is what it is, man. Sculpt wise, it looks just like Super Boo, like he just came right out of the manga or the anime, and there's really nothing to complain about. He's just a fun figure to pose around. He's super tall, and he's just a lot of plastic that is fun, because you know, a lot of big figures, man, when it comes to articulation and all that, they really, you know, it gets hindered because of how big they are. It kind of hinders what the figure can do, but not this guy. This guy can do just about anything, and there's a reason why it's at the number 2 spot in my list. Now it's time to go to the number 1 spot. Who do you think it is? And coming in at number 1, well, it's 2 figures. I know, I'm cheating, but I couldn't help myself. I could not just pick one or the other. I was going back and forth of which one to put in the top spot, but they both have to go there because they're both great in their own way. Well, let me get them off the way. And it's these guys, man. It's the Broly, it's Ikari Broly, SH Figure Arts Ikari, / Super Saiyan Broly, and Full Power Broly. These guys are absolutely awesome, and they are the best offerings from the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball line, and 2 of my favorite figures all year. I just didn't expect these guys to be as good as they are, but they are great. Full Power Broly, he has tons of paint in his torso. You can see the paint in his torso. I love the sculpt of his hair. All his face plates are spot on from the movie. They killed the little fur piece right here. They nailed that. And how that articulates is great. It's a soft plastic, and plus he's such a big guy, but he can maneuver like crazy. There's a lot of articulation with this guy. The only negative that I hear from people, and it's not even really that big of a deal to me, just because I'm happy that it is the way it is, because it helps him stand, because he's such a big guy. He'd be flopping over if his feet were a little smaller. His feet are big. They are big, and a lot of people complain about that, but I don't, man. It doesn't bother me not one bit. This guy is a unit, and he is an amazing action figure, and maybe my favorite figure, one of my favorite Dragon Ball figures in my entire collection. Next to this guy, which also is great in his own way, is the Super Saiyan / Ikari Broly from SH Figure Arts, which came out just a couple months after this one. We all thought, oh man, we're just gonna get the Full Power Broly. It would be cool to get the Ikari version, which is how he looked for majority of the movie. He had the spiked black hair with the yellow eyes, and I'm like, man, they made that form look so cool. They need to come out with a figure for that. And I guess Tamashii heard our prayers, and here he is, and he is just as great as the Full Power version. I feel like the articulation is a little bit better with the Full Power version, which is crazy because it's a bigger figure. But he's nothing to freaking cry about either. Man, this guy is absolutely awesome. You get the cool like new Frieza armor on him. They handled the shoulder pads well. You can move those around how you want to. And you know, he's basically just a little smaller version of the Full Power version for the most part, other than the armor. And you get 3 head sculpts. You get the Ikari head, which is he has right now. You get a Super Saiyan version of his head, and then you get a powered down normal Broly head, which doesn't really fit. It's cool that he comes with it. I'm glad he came with it, because customizers can make the proper body, because Broly was not this big while he was normal. He was a lot small, well, not a lot, but he was smaller than he is here. So that head doesn't really fit this body, but it's cool that he came with it. So at least when you get a customized powered down version of Broly, you can at least have the proper head to go with it, which is really, really cool. So I'm glad they did include that. Comes with different hands and stuff. Not a lot accessory wise, other than the essentials, but I feel like he doesn't really need it. He's just a absolute great figure. These are top of the line figures here, man. These look like, I keep saying it for a lot of figures, but they keep impressing, man. Look like he just came straight out of the animated movie, man. They just look great, and this is why they earned their spot at number one, my favorite figures. I know I cheated, of the year, man. They are great. And if you get a chance to put them in your collection and you're a Dragon Ball fan, definitely do that, because they are just awesome. And there you have it, guys, my top 10 figures of 2019. Another year of collecting figures is in the books. I don't really think any other crazy releases are going to happen within the next week or so. But I am looking forward to collecting in 2020. A lot of great figures are on the way. I'm not gonna list them all right now, but if you're keeping up, you know what's coming. A lot of great stuff coming, man, and I can't wait to add that stuff to my collection. But in 2019, looking back at it, was a great year. There are definitely still some figures that I didn't even really get to mention that I enjoyed a lot, that were in my collection. I just named a couple. The Zamasu, as a figure art Zamasu, the Jean Grey figure, those Target turtles are really cool. A lot of cool figures that just did not make the list, but not saying I disliked them or nothing. I really enjoyed a lot of figures, but they all couldn't be in this video, unfortunately. But these are the cream of the crop. These are what just piqued my interest and kept my interest the entire year, were these technically 11 guys right here, man. They are my favorite figures of the year. And in the comments below, man, tell me if you guys agree with my list, if you like the list, and list some of your. I love to hear what your favorite figures of 2019 was. Are any of them here, or is it something I didn't even mention, or something I didn't even purchase that I missed out on this year? Definitely let me know below. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you already subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I put up a new video. And man, we're gonna keep rocking and rolling, man. 2019 is in the books. It was a great year, not only for me personally, but figure wise as well. And 2020 is going to be even greater, man. It's going to be good stuff, more great figures coming, man, and I cannot wait to get to playing with those and posing those and getting reviews out for you guys, and everything, man. It's going to be another great year for figure collection, because it just gets better and better. And thank you guys for just rocking with me over the last couple of years, and especially this year, man. I feel like my channel has grew more. It was one point where my channel was at a standstill and there really wasn't any growth subscriber wise, but man, I've gained a pretty good amount of subscribers over this last year. I still have some work to do, and I have to be more consistent with making videos somehow and bringing out more content for you guys. And I want to try my best to do that. I can't promise anything, but I will try my best to make this channel the best I can make it. And for those guys who have stuck with me this long and still here rocking and rolling, watching my videos, giving me compliments on the reviews and everything and whatever, man, I highly appreciate it. And I love you guys, and because of you guys, it makes me want to keep doing this. Money, no money, YouTube revenue, the stupid stuff that's going on, the COPA stuff, any of that stuff, man, I don't care about all that. I just love bringing content out to you guys, and you guys watching my stuff and enjoying it. That's what it's all about for me, and that's what it's gonna always be about. So like I said, thank you. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a very, very, very great holiday, whatever you celebrate. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate. And also have a happy new year, and I will see you guys in 2020. I don't think I'm going to be putting up any more reviews up to this point. This may be the last video of 2020. I'm not sure yet, but it may be. There definitely won't be any more reviews. I'm done with reviews for this year, so don't look forward to any of that. But I may squeeze out one more before 2020, but if not, I will definitely see you guys in 2020. A big release should be hitting early 2020. So the first big review for this channel is going to be a good one. It's one that a lot of people are looking forward to, and so am I. So look forward to that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay go, everybody. Peace.